I went through my husband's phone and now I'm divorcing him, so let's get into it. So first I want to preface this by saying that as a wife, if I ever want to look through my husband's phone, I have the full right to do that. And if he wants to look through my phone, he knows my passcode, like he can look through my phone whenever he wants to. But as the wife, if I'm ever feeling insecure or weird, like there are times in our relationship where we're not doing the best, we're really distant, and I feel like I need to do that to gain some clarity and to feel better, I feel like I should be able to do that. So my husband and I have been having a lot of issues for the last few months. We've been super distant, sleeping in separate rooms. We're not having sex, like nothing at all. We're pretty much like roommates. And you know, as a woman, to my women, that gut feeling that you get, our intuition that is so incredibly strong and annoyingly always correct. So I had that the other night. And I recognized it and I went to him and I said, hey, I am feeling a certain way. I'm feeling kind of insecure. I'm having like a bad feeling in my belly and I would like to look through your phone. And he said, okay, you can look through my phone. I said, great. Can you go get it for me? And it was dead and he had to go and get it from his work bag or something and charge it. And all of a sudden he got really, really quiet after he said, yes, I can go through your phone. So after about 5 minutes of silence, I finally asked him again, can you go get your phone? I'm going to put it on the charger and look at it. And he goes, I don't think you should look at my phone. Okay. So he knows that I'm going to find something in there that's upsetting because he said, I don't think it's a good idea. We already haven't been in a good place and you're not going to be happy with what you find. Now I have to see it, okay? Now I absolutely have to see it. So I demand it at this point, and it takes a long time for him to turn it over, but eventually he does, and I go upstairs to the bedroom, I put it on the charger, I lock the door, and I start going through it. So I may not go over everything in detail because it's redundant at this point, it doesn't really matter, but he's going out to the bars with his friends, which I didn't have any problem with him doing, but he's giving out his phone number and telling girls that he's single. And it's interesting, like my husband has like a tattoo of like our initials on his ring finger. So like even when he's not wearing his wedding ring, like it's very, I mean, if you're paying attention, it's pretty obvious that he's a married man. I digress. He's texting women that he's single. He went over to a coworker's house. She doesn't know that he's married. Like she's single. He went over to her house and did God knows what. So after finding all of that, one thing that I want to preface this by saying is that like women, if you're still around, if you are looking through your man's phone, be ready to leave him. You must be ready to leave your man if you're going through his phone, because otherwise, what's the point of even doing it? Just to hurt your feelings? No, if you find something with that gut feeling that you had that is enough to leave that man, you must do it. And because I love myself and respect myself, I'm going to choose not to stay with somebody, even though we've had a really great relationship. He makes me very happy most of the time. I'm going to choose not to stay with someone who treats me that way and who goes off and disrespects me like that after 10 years. So this is going to be very interesting. I've never been married before and I've never divorced anyone, so I have no idea how to divorce someone. So this will be very interesting, learning the process of separating things. But honestly, like, I know that sometimes it's going to be hard, but like this is for the best. And you know what? That's just how I feel today. And tomorrow I might be a total damn wreck. But if you stay this long, thanks. And stay tuned to watch me become shattered and a mess and then happy and then laughing. Like, I have no idea how this is going to go. So wish me luck. I went through my husband's phone and now I'm divorcing him. And this is part 2 of how he reacted when I came downstairs with his phone. First of all, like I want to say the commitment from people for this side of the story, I just find really interesting. Like the fact that people care so much about my story, I just find like really interesting. Like I didn't really think anyone would care about this. So here we go. I would not consider myself a very calm person. When I get angry, calm is not the way that I tend to deal with things. But in this situation, for some reason, I felt very, very calm when I went downstairs to confront him about his phone. I gave him his phone very peacefully and I said, thank you so much. And he said, so how mad are you right now? I stayed very calm the whole time. I looked right at him and I said, you know what? Not as mad as you might think. And then we kind of started to go into some things. One thing that I did not mention in my first video, because it's kind of personal, but I don't really care about putting him on blast at this point because he embarrassed me, is that my husband has been holding out on Smexy time from me for many, many months. And that's another thing that I want to address, because some people in the comments assumed, oh, well, if your roommates living in separate rooms, if you were not having Smexy time with him, that no wonder he cheated. First of all, ew. Second of all, I was always open for business. Every single day, all the time, I'm always open for business. He was saying that he didn't want to because he's been having hormone issues lately. So we have not been doing that. And when I went through his phone, I found that he was watching porn every single day. So from my experience, he has always done this thing where when he gets in trouble, he doesn't want to feel like he's in trouble like a little kid. So he turns into this very hurtful person, which is another reason why I'm leaving him. So when I confronted him about the corn, he laughed in my face and he said, oh yeah, I love corn. That's probably never going to stop. And I said, but I have been asking you for Smexy time. And he goes, yeah, well, we haven't been talking. We haven't been in a good place, but I love corn. And then another jab that he gave me, I think just, again, to hurt my feelings and try to make himself feel bigger and better than me at that point, was when I brought up that, hey, I know that we've been in a bad place, but we're still married. His excuse was, well, listen, you haven't been talking to me. We haven't been in a good place. What do you expect? When I don't get what I need from you, I go to other women for validation. And I said, man, you must be really insecure if when we're not in a great place, you have to seek out validation from other women. And I feel bad for you. So again, he kind of smiled and said, yeah, well, you weren't talking to me and I love getting attention from other women when you don't give me what I need. So that's probably never going to end. I'm probably going to do that for forever. And listen, ladies, as I say all of this stuff out loud, I hope that you ladies get just as irritated for me as I am for myself to be treated that way by somebody that I was married to for 10 years. Nobody deserves that. It's not just me, but nobody deserves to be looked at and said, yeah, I know I did these things. I'm probably going to continue to do them though. So at that point, I knew it was over. He made it very clear that he didn't want to repair that at all. He didn't seem remorseful at all. So I took a deep breath, gave him a big smile, and I said, okay, well, let's get working on filing. I don't really know the process to that, so I need to do a little bit of research, but I'd like to get filed by next month and get all of this stuff sorted out. At this point, you are now single. You want to act like you're single and pretend that you're single. You are now single. You may see, talk to, and do whatever you want, and I am going to do the same, and let's file for divorce next month. And he said, okay. But trust me when I say this story is not over. Now, you see, my mother-in-law was due to be in town 12 hours after this discovery. So when he asked me, he said, Taylor, can you just be chill while my mom's in town? She doesn't need to know anything that's going on. I said, oh no. Oh, no. I'm going to tell your mother everything. And that story, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to go through tomorrow.
Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. So this topic today is just a little bit jarring because you see, this is why I've never been under of the opinion that people should say, oh, don't look into your husband's phone. I just believe that if there's a barrier between you and your partner's phone, I'm so sorry. I don't care what relationship you're in. There's just something so murky about that, because if you're comfortable exchanging saliva with people and having relationships with them in a very naked form or an intimate form, then why is it that you cannot allow that person to see your phone? And this is why there's this woman called the Slumflower on TikTok. She says the person you sleep next to is more likely to kill you than a stranger. And to be fair, that is actually true, because in what age or planet did it become so very, very, very easy to say, no, I don't want you touching my phone? I do believe marriages days most of them are a sham. Guys, most of them are a flipping yoke sham. Because tell me, why is it that you're hearing these people getting engaged and 9 months later they're getting divorced, or not getting broken up, or if they're in the case of being married, they get broken up, but you're divorced because of an affair, because of one of those things? It's just insane. It's just flipping insane. How did we? Because the thing is, if you maybe go to a comment section they would tell her, like, you see misogynistic men, including the women, who are going to say, oh, maybe you didn't have a lot of intimate relationship with them. When they can clearly hear from the video that this man was having side quests with loads of strange women. So the energy he was putting into his strange women, why did he not put it into his marriage? Why? Why? You see, I hate men who act clueless. I hate men who try to gaslight. I don't like men. I don't like it. I don't like that people do excuse very weird behavior. I don't like that men are rewarded for like very weird behavior towards women. I don't like it. And I'm so happy that she made the decision to leave, and obviously she says she's happy, so I'm not gonna bother her on that. So, like, there are some men who will say, if you don't want to see anything, don't go there looking at what you don't want to see. And I think this is the ideology that is very misogynistic that has been passed on to women, that you do not look at your man's phone if you don't want to get hurt. Guys, that's lies. Like, that is a lie of a flipping marriage. So what is the gain if I'm married to you and I cannot look through your phone and you cannot look through mine? What is the, like, so what's the difference between getting married and not getting married? At the end of the day, I do know that, like, for example, marriage is a paper that will protect you sometimes in some cases and sometimes in not so many cases. It may not protect you at all. I don't know why I'm trying to sound a little bit misogynistic. It may not protect you at all. Or am I just trying to sound more logical? It may not protect you at all, because just about 2 months ago, I covered on this channel about a woman whose husband was threatening to not threatening, whose husband left after 10 years, asked her that he never longer wants to be with her, and that she needs a divorce, and that he's asking for a divorce. Really? So after many years of being together, that's what you reward her with. You reward her with divorce, you reward her with abandonment issues and everything. You see, this is why I will never, ever subscribe to the marriage lifestyle and the disillusion for saying, oh, if you're married, you're protected. That can be the falsest things I've ever seen in my life. It's a lie from the greatest pits of hell. It's not everyone that marriage protects. And isn't that so strange? Before I wanted to like make a cover up for this video, especially the Anna Nicole Smith, there's this woman who got married, a very beautiful woman, very, very attractive woman, who got married to this man who was like more than 6 decades or 7 decades richer than her. And later when the man died, he had willed it all to his son. I'm so sorry, guys. I don't care if he was being a gold digger. I'm telling you, just that man was a wicked man. I don't care if people call her a gold digger. He was wicked. Just the fact that you have a very beautiful hot woman, like, let's say, staying with you, taking care of you in your late something, you knew what it was up. So let's not pretend as if you did not know that the man was falling for his money. So even if your son has been there, it's your seed. So could you not maybe say, okay, since you've been with me there for 10 years, you've taken care of me, you've done everything. Okay, take at least 300 million that is not taxed and go and live your best life, and let my son have 1 billion. Yes, that is just even a little bit below the level of fairness. Okay, why not give her at least $350 million out of the 1.3 billion you have in total net worth, and now don't no need to fight it in court. And seriously, because I mean, I don't know how she managed to stay with that man for 10 years. And this is why this is why women have learned to be smart. And I'm not saying that she's not smart. She's not, because every year, if I was the one, I'll tell him clearly why I was with him, for the money. And I know you're with me for my beauty and for my youth, because you know I'm going to use the youth to take care of you and have 10 years. So if I was her, well, unfortunately, guys, she's not been here anymore, is she? Anna Nicholson, she's not been here anymore. And if I was her, I'm just saying with my mouth, but hopefully if I was her, every year I'm with you, I'm receiving a non-refundable stipend of what? Yes, a non-refundable stipend of $20 million, of $20 flipping million, because that man was close to his age, was close to her age. Because I'm not joking, I'm actually going to receive a stipend of, let's say, $20 million. It has to be $20 flipping million. What do you mean? It has to be $20 million. Yes, it has to be $20 million. Because there ain't no way. It just has to be $20 million, isn't it? It just has to be. What are you flipping thinking about? What are you talking about? It just has to be. It just has to be, guys. See, seriously, I'm just tired. I'm done. Bye. Please make sure you comment in the comment section. Please be very, very, very respectful. I'll answer to your comments if you actually ask me a question. So I always reply to my comments. So guys, make sure you don't always just like. Also make sure you watch the video to the end because it increases my retention. Please click on the subscribe button, on the like button. I'll see you next video. Thank you.